Hey friends, Michael Patton here. I want to tell you about a new project that I have going. I thrive on projects, and I'm so excited to have a new project finally, a big new project. I mean, really big. Now, listen to this. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Bible Project, but you got to if you don't. If you've never seen it, go to YouTube, search Bible Project. These guys have done an incredible job of putting every book of the Bible into some type of animation that explains it, charts that draw out as you're learning. I love visual learning. I don't know if you do, but I work off visual learning. I think so many people do, and at least having a visual learning that contributes to what you're learning. Now, if you've been through the theology program, the primary thing that we focus upon, you may not have known that, but the theology program is our flagship program. It is the most central program of all of the Credo courses, all of the Credo House, everything that I've ever done from Theology Unplugged to the Credo House Coffee Shop, and all of the courses around the theology program from Habermas's Resurrection to Grote Heist Apologetics. All of those are to get people to step toward the theology program, the 6-course program of systematic theology for lay people that I created from 2001 until 2005. That is the central thing of what I do. It's still the central thing of what I do and what I push people to. But here's what I want to do. I want to take the theology program and I want to turn it into an animated version that not only supplements what we do in the theology program, but gives people little short, wonderful, illustrative pieces of what theology is all about. Now, let me show you what it's like. Just look at the Bible Project just for a moment as I show what they've done on some of what they've done on Genesis.
The book of Genesis. It's the first book of the Bible, and its storyline divides into two main parts. There's chapters 1 through 11, which tell the story of God and the whole world. And then there's chapters 12 through 50, which zoom in and tell the story of God and just one man, Abraham, and then his family. And these two parts are connected by a hinge story at the beginning of chapter 12. And this design, it gives us a clue to how to understand the message of the book as a whole and how it introduces the story of the whole Bible. So the book begins with God taking the disorder and the darkness described in the second sentence of the Bible, and God brings out of it order and beauty and goodness. He makes a world where life can flourish. And God makes these creatures called humans, or Adam in Hebrew. He makes them in his image, which has to do with their role and purpose in God's world. So the humans are made to be reflections of God's character out into the world, and they're appointed as God's representatives to rule his world on his behalf, which in context means to harness all of its potential, to care for it, and make it a place where even more life can flourish. God blesses the humans. It's a key word in this book. And he gives them a garden, like a place from which they begin starting to build this new world. Now, the key is that the humans have a choice about how they're going to go about building this world. And that's represented.
So here they've gotten through most of the first half of the book of Genesis, and then they're going to show you the big picture at the end of this 7-minute video.
God going to do. And the next story, The Hinge, offers the answer. But for now, that's what Genesis 1 through 11 is all about.
See, look at that. Look at the illustrations and how it's working. They take it one step at a time, and I love it. Again, I love the Bible Project. I'm really excited about what they're doing, and I want to promote them. My goal is certainly not to compete with them, but we need something with regard to theology, the big picture. Going through the Bible is absolutely essential. We all have to. It's kind of an inductive thing that we do. But this is taking the big picture of theology, how it all fits together. Genesis to Revelation, everything in church history, all that we know that God has given us in his sources to be able to understand every theological issue. So if you would imagine us doing this with regard to, say, the worldview chart that I've done. I just did a video on this recently. You may have seen it, but you can find it on the Credo House page at YouTube. But notice here, you got a lot of busyness, a lot of things that are going on. Now, I've got it all completed, but it's not animated. It doesn't take it one step at a time. I've done some of my best to draw it out one step at a time and to mark it up as I'm going through on my iPad. But just imagine this, more illustrative, taking it one little thing at a time with the how everything is right now, with the arch, how God exists above and beyond time, and how he relates inside of time. Those types of things are just absolutely essential and would be so much fun for us to get into from a theological standpoint. Also, think of it from the standpoint of like the essentials and non-essentials. It looks like my video is, I need a new computer that can handle what I'm doing because it kind of throws itself off. But imagine essentials and non-essentials. Remember this chart? This would be so incredibly exciting to be able to teach through what's the difference between essentials and non-essentials. And just imagine it, taking it one step at a time, graphically illustrating all that this chart entails. And just working through the history of it, working through why the resurrection of Christ, belief in Christ, belief in the death of Christ and the reality of our sin is essential compared to what is essential for historic orthodoxy or what is essential for Christian traditional orthodoxy, the differences between Catholics, and just a real quick overview on something like this, but the difference between Catholics and Eastern Orthodox and Protestant and how we unite and how we divide, then denominations, that kind of stuff. Just a 5, 7 minute, 10-minute video at most going through this chart. Now, of course, we would do so much more that would build around this chart, but this chart alone it would just be worth having something. Just think of how much this would change people's lives if they just knew this. What about this chart? A lot of you guys know this, how to study the Bible. Just what did it mean? What does it mean? Or what did it mean then? What does it mean for all time? And how does it apply to us today? Now, again, I would take this chart and use the basic elements of it and walk through it to where at the end the chart is built, but there's all kinds of things that you would go through to get to each element of the chart, and how the people that would be involved and understanding the history and just all that we could draw out from, number one, exegetical statement. What did it mean then? Historical interpretation, grammatical interpretation, contextual interpretation, literary interpretation, and the ancient audience. I mean, there is just so much we can do with this that would be so educational and so incredibly exciting, and I'm telling you, change lives. This is what I'm thinking about. Here's another one. Now, this one I didn't use in the theology program. I've created it since, but it's just a basic understanding of what evangelicalism historically means, and understanding the focus of evangelicalism and the head, the hands, and the heart. All of those things together mixed with the orthopraxy, right practice with orthodoxy, right teaching, and what all that means. Now, again, this chart wouldn't be the exact thing that I try to draw out the same way, but it would be the end goal, to create all these elements and then build towards this chart to where once you're done, you understand this, and it's not just something that's really busy that you're looking at that kind of looks cool. Think of me taking every issue of theology, from Calvinism to young earth, old earth, to the end times, every issue that we've gone through, or you've gone through, and that we do in the theology program, and trying to present it. Here's the uniqueness, and you'll get this. A lot of you will get this. The uniqueness is we're going to do it in a balanced, ironic way, to where we offer the perspectives of all sides, the best of their perspective, and then leave it in the audience's hands to be able to decide at the end, so that it's educating them, giving them the tools, the foundation, the education to make the decisions, and doing my best, our best, to be able to keep from our biases showing throughout the entire program or the entire video. Just think of every single issue. I mean, there's dozens of very important ones. There's hundreds of issues that we can do, but just think of the foundational issues that we can draw upon and compare and contrast, showing the difference between Catholicism, Protestantism, and Eastern Orthodoxy. Most people don't know that, and it is in some ways easy to explain. But think of the illustration and how much easier it would be, and how a word picture would bring it all home. So we create until we get to this end word picture that looks like the chart I just showed, with evangelicalism or something else, the chart of the how to study the Bible, but how effective that will be. Now, this is what I want to do. I want to create these. This is my next project. I don't know what I'm going to call it. Probably not going to call it the Theology Project. That might be stealing. But the Theology Program animated. I don't know if that's good because it sounds too cartoonish. We'll come up with something later on. Now, how do I plan on getting this done? Well, it's through a couple of things. Number one, just your donations, to be able to donate to us. But the most important thing is you to become a patron. On my Patreon page, Patreon.com/C Michael Patton, or just search Michael Patton's Patreon page. See Michael Patton, that's the best way to do it. See Michael Patton on everything for me. But if you look this up, you'll see this is a community of people that get together and support what it is that we're doing. Now, there's all kinds of memberships that you can that you can have. You can have all the way from the $3 a month patron, which I appreciate so much, and I appreciate all the patrons right now. And each one of these patrons, each level has different benefits, and these benefits are great. I mean, from free workbooks for the $3 Patreon, and then for the $9 patron, you've got all Credo House audio and workbooks, and then for the $25 patron, you get everything that Credo House has to offer on audio, video, PowerPoint, and so on. And then you can go up from there, and you'll see the benefits as you go up. These are just more people that just really believe in what we're doing and will want to support us that way each month. That is very important for us to be able to get supported each month, because I need to be able to budget for this. I need to be able to tell how much we have in order to create these videos and to be able to count on it each month. So that's what I'm doing. We've got 78 patrons right now. And also this patron, I mean, especially once we get up to 100 and above, it really is going to turn into a great community to where we'll have nightly sessions on fixed nights of the Theology Program, where I go through and teach through the Theology Program and update the Theology Program, and then also just question answers, Doubters Anonymous type thing that we've been doing in the past, all kinds of things here on Patreon where we'll do it live. But I need you to become a patron. This is how it is that we're getting supported. So head over to the Patreon page, patreon.com/C Michael Patton, or just click on the donate. There's a Patreon link down below, or just click on the donate and donate to us. But like I said, I want you to become a monthly patron, even if it's just $3 a month. That is helpful. We get enough of those, and we're going to be just fine. We'll be able to pull off all of this. And it's a big project. I've got to have your help. Well, there it is. That's my new vision. What I'll do is, once we get enough donations and enough patrons, I'll put together the first video, have it done. It'll probably be a short illustrative video to push us forward, but I am just so excited about this. And I thrive off of big projects like this. I've done them before. I've done the 60 sessions of the Theology Program, built the Credo House, done the Theology Unplugged blog or podcast, done the Parchment and Pen blog, and just all of the Credo courses around that. This is the next big project that I think contributes, and it contributes in a very direct way because it is teaching through the content of the Theology Program in a new way. Always keeping our ironic spirit, always holding that as a big passion of ours, the things that unite Christianity, and helping people to understand them more broadly. The two projects I have right now, number one is to lose weight. Okay, it's even bigger than this project, but that is happening. That's going to happen. Believe it or not, I've already lost 50 pounds. Ever since I started wearing my CPAP, things have changed so much in my life, if you're wanting to know personally. If you don't know about that, go over to my blog and check out the blog that says where I have been and why I am back. Very important blog for you to understand what has been going on with me, but I'm going to lose weight, and you can keep up with that as well. I'll send something to you soon that helps you keep up with what's going on that for the next year. I'll really be working hard. I'm back from that standpoint, but this is what I want to focus on. This is what I want to focus on with you guys right now, and I need your help. I can't do it without you, so click one of those below and become a patron and donate. Help us out. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Thank you to all our present patrons and all those people who have made everything for the last 25 years of my life possible.